Good morning. Hi. Today we are going to have Ruby Hammer on our Instagram Live talking about a little bit of beauty and skincare. So thanks for joining. I don't know how it is where you are. I mean, it's super bright, but it's freezing outside. So let's wait for her to get on. Pretty sure. Nope. Instagram Live. I've done a few of these now, and you'd think that I'd get better at this, but nope. She has not joined yet. Oh, there she is. And there she's asked. So let me get her on. I think we're connecting now. Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, Miriam. How are you?
I'm super well. Happy Monday morning. I don't know what week it is for you. I think it's like week 6 for me. I'm going a little nuts.
Oh, I see. Where are you?
I'm in London. How about you?
I'm in London too. I haven't left. This is where I've always been based. So this is home.
Home, yes. Always better to be home in times of
Truly.
times of anything, but especially now.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, I'm so grateful you asked, and it's lovely. I wish I'd met you.
Got my little products here. Very excited.
We're all worried about the post because, you know, you're wondering, are things going to get to everyone? But it's always nice to just have it in hand, to play with it a little bit before.
Of course. And I'm loving, I mean, I started using so Ruby has this amazing little makeup line, and I have to say, I love these. They're so beautiful.
I call them my pots of joy.
They do make you happy.
They make you happy, and when you see the color, and it says it, I think scientifically they say it, that those kind of bright neons, it just makes a message in your brain that
It's a good day.
It gives you a little, even if it's fake, I'm glad it's real. It just makes it nice.
No, it makes me happy having that in my bathroom. Like literally every time I see it now, and I smile when I go in. It was very exciting.
That's exactly what it is, and it has a practical function that you can put your other makeup brushes in. To be honest, it's a little object of beauty on its own. So you could have it tossed around. You could put your pens in it. You can put whatever you want. It's just.
I like it for the bathroom. I love it. I was thinking you should have like a whole array of them, trays and everything, you know.
Well, once we get going, let's see if I can do any other colours. But I've only just launched, you know, in September, and
it's amazing
in this madness, you know. So I've got into lovely stores. All those stores are now closed.
I know. It's tough times for everybody.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, it brings you a little bit of joy. If it has a practical function for you, superb, because you can put all your other things in from all your other brands. You can put your tool in it.
Yeah, this is true. But you know, this is what I really love too. So I'm always about everything that's little. Like I really don't like big products, like in general. So I don't like to carry big bags. I don't like big, you know, things to be big. And I just love your packaging. And did you color it? You know, in this color because of your name?
Yes. Anyone that knows me, and we've only just got acquainted, but I'm sure we're going to keep in touch, and you're going to know that a little bit of red pops up. Like, look at the little mini.
I know. I saw behind.
There are bits there, like I can see from the color of your packaging about pink, and you know.
Yeah, I do. Pink is sort of my thing.
Feel, and that's my signature. With a name like Ruby, it's a signature Ruby red. And so yes, you're right, I tweaked that, and exactly when the glass file came, it could have been all
gorgeous
neutral thing, but when it came in the red glass, it just looks better, and you find it in your bag or your kit quicker, don't you?
I think so too, and I just think it stands out a little bit, and it just looks nicer. I don't know, the color just makes a difference. It really does.
It could have been, you know, you have to pick the right color red, you know, and for me, it has really depth in it. And, you know, it's not too orangey, it's not too pink. I love it. So
and for those of you who don't know, this is a nail file, but this is the nicest nail file. So when you feel it, like, it actually doesn't look like I don't know what they're called actually.
It's a crystal nail file, and so it's from the Czech Republic. It's not from China, no disrespect to China, but it is a proper, really good.
It's super. I mean, it works really well. Like, so I'm very picky with my nails.
You are a very fussy lady, and for you to say that means a lot to me, because it's small, but it's functional. I use it on my husband. I've sent it to my friends. I've sent it to, and especially now, as I always have my nails done. I can't see my manicurist. Exactly. So I've taken the colour off, keep them short, but that thing works. So people always think, oh, is it just for travel? And I'm like,
yes. Exactly. I have to say it felt very substantial, despite the fact that, you know, it's like literally the size of my finger right here. But I really liked it quite a lot. It was really, I mean, I used it obviously this weekend, and it was easy to clean, and I didn't think it was going to be as sharp, like, you know, like as fily as it was.
It's not harsh. It won't damage your nail. It'll nicely smooth it off, tidy it. Look, when we ever get back to our desks, it's great to keep in your desk. It's great in your handbag. It's great to travel with. It's great for men. And just, you know, I tend to pick. So if I find something on my hands and I pick it, I'm going to keep.
Yes, exactly.
It's like a self-harm, sorry. So with that now, it just means I smooth it quickly. Even not the nail, the skin, I can refine it gently. So
that's what I actually find that I'm doing right now, is that I file my nails, and I never really ever treated my cuticles or used oil before. But, you know, last night I was watching TV, I was putting cuticle oil in, and, you know, pushing so it's actually quite nice to be able to do something. I never have time for stuff like that, and usually that's why I get the manicure, so somebody else takes care of it. But it's nice to have this little compact, you know, you forget, you can do everything. We're all capable. We're women. We have all these superpowers. So I think it's really great.
Yeah.
I jumped the gun a little bit. So today I wanted to go through skincare and beauty care, and get your expertise, because mine is not on that side. I have prepped my skin per request. So today I woke up, got my kids on homeschooling, which is always a lot of fun. And then now I use as I said, I'm very quick. I don't like to spend a lot of time doing anything in the morning.
Well, you're a busy lady, and everyone is time poor. We've got more time now since.
Yes.
But if we get back to normal, or even, you know, by choice or by force, while we're traveling to work or whatever, people don't have, you know, if you have children, if you have all sorts of things, people, not just women, everyone is busy, so you need to be as speedy as you can, and it's nice to have things. So I've always said, although I'm not the skin expert, you are, if you take the underpinning of good makeup, is good skincare, skin products, and looking after your well-being from inside. You're not going to be able to cover, well, you can, if you put a base on that thick, yes, we're all going to look great, but you're going to also look like you're in Madame Tussauds. So skincare is the underpinning. When I'm, as a makeup artist, I prepare my model. You know, I spend as much time doing that prep as I do applying makeup. And I think most people think, oh, it's just can be achieved with makeup. No, the two go hand in hand. And what I do is a temporary thing. But when somebody comes to somebody like yourself, it's about having a regime that is lifelong. You know, people say, what is the best thing to have? And I said, the best thing to have is some regime in place. Whatever that is, clean your skin properly, exfoliate, hydrate, and then do the treatments as life goes on. You know, as we get older,
Absolutely.
Eyes, your wrinkles, your this. Like for me, it's pigmentation.
I'm starting to see my neck with all of these like Instagram lives that I'm doing. Oh my God! It's killing me.
I can notice all these lines, and then I kind of.
You have great skin.
Thank you. From you, it means a lot. But everyone then can, what's the word? Like put the things that is their concerns. And if there are things wrong, Don't be the doctor. Go to the expert. Find a dermatologist. There are so many out there. Find a woman that you admire. You know, look at you, Maria. You have great skin. You're a younger woman than I am, but look, you look amazing. So it's like find an expert to go to and then start.
Well, I think it's really important. So, like, my ethos in skincare and the reason behind MZ Skin is really to reveal, enhance, and protect the skin. So the idea is that in order to, like, the backbone to being able to do other things is to have as clear skin as you can. And in order to do that, you don't need a lot of complicated skincare products, but you need a few that work synergistically together. And so, as you said, cleansing is really important on all aspects. So if you don't cleanse and exfoliate, get rid of excess dead skin, debris, pollution, anything that's sitting on top of the skin, then anything you place on top isn't going to penetrate quite as well. So that's where I start off with like a really good cleanser that gently exfoliates. I think a lot of people do a lot of harm because more is not necessarily more. More can irritate your skin. Absolutely. Overstimulate, oil production.
But then they think, oh, if that's good, like we all do it, we're human. Oh, if that's good once, I must do it every day.
Yeah, exactly. But you don't need to. It's just like it's like working out every day. Like if you look at serious athletes who train, they do arms one day, they do legs one day. I mean, like they don't do everything every day. Or they do one day of running and one day of swimming. Something different. The face is the same thing. And all of the skin. Obviously, I need to take better care of my neck skin. Oh my God, this is like driving me crazy.
So first thing is if you have good posture, because that will already lift up your...
This is true. Posture is very important. I'm trying to work on that myself. I find that especially nowadays with all like the computer.
Are you sitting a lot when you are in...
Not in my office. So in my office, I'm usually like standing around the bed, but I'm usually quite stooped over somebody, whether it's a treatment, just evaluation, and then the rest of the time I am on my computer, like writing my notes. So it does. But, tech neck is a real thing, guys. Take care. Use everything you put on your face and continue down onto your neck and your décolletage. And don't forget these gorgeous hands too. So really important. So what first, as I said, is to reveal, and so then after is to enhance. So you put products on your face that you know are going to work and going to improve the skin texture, quality, thickness, all of these types of things. So the things that feel really nice sometimes aren't necessarily the ones that are best for your skin. So, like I love that silky feeling of foundation, but if it has that silky feeling, it probably has silicone in it, which really doesn't have much impact for your skin, for instance. But Yes. So, I mean, it feels nice. So it moves a little bit nicer on the skin, but it doesn't necessarily have the benefits from it. So what I like to do is to have a few good things. And I think most people can tolerate a good vitamin C, which is really great because it's an antioxidant. So basically antioxidants eat up free radicals that we create every single day. A lot of it is caused by UV damage. So it's basically when you've used up the oxygen and you have these atoms floating around and these particles floating around called free radicals because they're not attached to anything. So antioxidants kind of go and like gobble them up and make sure that they don't do more damage to the body. And so antioxidants are really important. C is the one that is very known. It's often found with vitamin E, vitamin B. These are really great products because they help antioxidize. So they fight those free radicals that prematurely age skin, break down collagen, and can contribute to pigmentation, laxity of skin, and collagen loss. So and the breakdown of collagen in general. So I think it's really important to have a vitamin C. Today I used, as I do every day, Brighten and Perfect. So that's 10% encapsulated vitamin C. When you hear the word encapsulated, I think sometimes people don't know what that means. It just means that it's been created in a manner so that the vector, like the way that it's being delivered into the body, is such that you have better penetration. So sometimes some of the skincare is good skincare, but it doesn't like get into the skin. Right. So when you can put it in a sort of like a envelope, so to say, you can get it through the skin a little bit better without having some of the side effects. So that's why I really like this one. And I like azelaic acid, which again is a skin lightener. I also think if you have a smooth palette to begin with, then you have less covering that you need to do, and it's not always possible. You know, people have rosacea, they have acne, they're like me, they have melasma, you know, so that's not always possible.
But I can't see. Wow. So
well, you know, I'm sitting underneath a skylight right now, so I have like I chose the brightest place in the house because I needed a little extra help. But I suffer from melasma on both sides of my face, and then all I've done is put Tint and Protect, which is coming out this week. I'm really excited to say. So this is our tinted. Yeah. So this is launching just now. It's a tinted moisturizer.
How many shades?
It's excuse me.
How many shades is that going to come in?
No, it's only one. It's a translucent. It's not meant to be universal. What it's meant to be is more to have a sheen. It's not coverage. So it looks like it has coverage, but it goes basically, it should work on your skin type. Anything darker, probably not. But it works for, you know, skin types 1 to 4, sometimes a low 5, you know, that type of thing. And it has an SPF of 30. We're working on a second one, but, you know, we wanted to launch this one first. Actually, we're looking at not a whole range, not like 50 shades, but we'll have like 3 different. This is the first of the 3. And one very light and then one darker. So I like to mix things, and I think sometimes people do need to mix things together. So I chose this because it creates a sheen on the face, but it also protects. It has UVA and UVB, both chemical and physical barrier. And even despite the fact that I use this, I still use Helio Care on top of it. So this is an SPF 50. And so, for instance,
you're double protecting.
I'm always double protecting.
Especially, as you've just said, if you have melasma,
more is better. More is better of sunscreen, guys. That's the only thing that I can say is better. And this one I really like a lot because it's a gel, it's oil-free, and this one's beige and there's a taupe, and I actually have to mix the 2 of them together because this is too white for me and the other one's too dark for me, and I'm somewhere in between. And that's why I decided not to go down the route of trying to create something for everybody, because I think there's so many different nuances. And what I tell people is that if they feel that this is not the right shade for them, if they do have a little tiny drop of foundation, they can put a tiny drop of their foundation to create, if they want more coverage, because this is not really coverage, it's more like a glowing sheen. It gives you glowing skin, like a more translucent. But if you feel you need more coverage, then I would add like a little bit of foundation and stuff. And then that's all I've done. And in preparation for you to help me out a little bit.
Okay. Well, the thing, look at me. I am sitting in front
Beautiful.
of you. I'm meeting you, but I haven't got foundation on my skin right now. I've just done my normal skincare. I cleansed, I did whatever, moisturizer, and then I've just used 2. I think now, as we get older, or for everybody, one of the biggest tools you can have once you've done your skincare is it could be a tinted moisturizer, it could be that product that you're just going to be bringing out, anything like that gives the whole skin a bit of a vibrant glow. Then, if you are a foundation user, sure, go ahead and use that, but very light-handed. Yeah. For me, I've just got 2 concealers. These ones are from NARS. I have a paler one that I'm a contact lens wearer, so I get a dark patch there and I get a little bit of there. So I just kind of dot it on there, and I kind of look up and down to see if you're a little bit more puffy or darker shadowed or something. I apply there with a brush or with my fingers.
So do you use a brush or do you use your fingers?
I can use I can use the brush for that sort of shape. You know,
okay, so I love this gadget. So this is brilliant because it has so many different, it's rubies, and it has so many different brushes, and I'd like to go through why you would use, like where you would use
different uses. So if you didn't want to touch and you wanted to be very delicate near your eye area, I would use this one, the little crease brush. Okay,
that's the first one.
Yeah, whichever one, because they're in. Yeah, that one that you
okay.
have. So you can apply. Let me see. I've used the paler color on my eye. Let's show you. I just kind of dot a tiny bit on the outer corner, and then I use the smudgy brush to just push, tap it in, pat it in, and then you can whisk it on.
And how do you decide like lighter versus darker? I mean, do you why do you have two different shades of?
I just think because I've got pigmentation and maybe because I'm dark skinned, you won't find a product that is one.
So the same thing that I was saying. You mix them together.
I need a lighter one around my eye and my delicate area because I'm just trying to counterbalance that bit of dark shadow or whatever. And then a darker one, same consistency, and I just dot it on to where my little pigment points are and I have a little darkness. I don't know what that is, Maryam. It's like a bee, it's like a dark... Is it maybe because I'm having too much balsamic vinegar? Am I deprived?
No. I can't see it very clearly, I mean, on this, but we can always take a look at it. That's why I can't see it. I was going to say it's not very noticeable.
I need it. So again, and that's all I've done. I've not got base on, I've not got moisturizer, nothing. That's all I've done. And then once I've tapped it in, maybe with my finger because it's bigger here, I use a tiny bit of translucent powder or a tinted powder just in that zone.
Just in here.
Just set it so that it doesn't move. A whisk of it after my concealer, just a tiny bit, and I do a tiny bit there and there because you need.
And what brush do you use for that?
I use either, where am I going to look? Some sort of a powder puff or a small wedge.
This is what I usually use.
It's a bit too big, that one.
So this is me. I love that. I use this. So I use this Tom Ford blusher all the time. I found like what is it called?
Your bronzer.
It's a bronzer, but this is like all I do. I like literally. I have like no rhyme or reason. That's because no one's ever taught me. Like, so how should I put that on?
Before you do that bronzer is when I would use a translucent powder, which it means colorless. Tiny colorless, so that you.
I did order some so that we could do it, and I had translucent powder when we were in in quarantine right now. I went through all my drawers and I got rid of all the things I don't use, and that was one of the things. I didn't know what I was used for, so I tossed it.
You know what though? If you haven't used it for many years, it's probably better to get rid of it.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
You know who? Laura Mercier does a wonderful translucent powder, and she doesn't do it in a huge big size. You can get it in like a little.
Oh, that's nice.
Like a travel size. So why don't you get one little like that, and that will be more than enough for you. I go through it as a professional, using it every day on a shoe. Well, not since we've been in lockdown, but I'm glad you chucked the old one away. Get a fresh, small one.
I did order one. It just
you just strategically apply it, like to set the concealer, to set this bit there. And I do it, if you're going to do your brow with a brow powder, I like to just do it there and there because it just takes the shine away from when your face is right on there. This I don't do because it's aging and you need a little bit of a nice glow. So I just do it on the bits where you might think, and if you do it with a slightly smaller brush, you can control it, a slightly fluffier brush, just...
So if you don't do that, then you're more likely to sort of like have that shine, because I don't like that shiny... Like there's difference between glowing skin and shiny skin.
That's it. And also, if somebody complains about their concealer or their base shifting during the course of the day, you need to fix it in place so that you're not constantly touching it and putting your hands on your face. Once that's done, it'll be fine for the whole day. Then you get your big brush because you've prepared the bits that aren't going to move, because otherwise you're going to get a stripy, streaky effect where some bits have been set and some bits haven't.
Well, that's why I just don't end up using so much. I mean, I literally put a little bit of the blusher on, and that's that bronzer. Because look how white I am. I'm almost translucent myself. I think I'm as white as my cup. I'm not that much different.
No. There is a difference. But then you whisk your Tom Ford product all the places where the sun would touch. So it would be on your forehead, just on your cheeks there, on your chin. Like big, exactly. Just show me how you naturally do it.
So this is what I would do, and see, look, you can already see that I have a little bit more color on my face than I did like 2 seconds ago.
More alive.
Yeah.
you know. Do you ever do on the top of your head?
You know, I do sometimes, but you know, I have, again, like I'm in really good lighting, but I have melasma a little bit here and here, and so it automatically gives me a little bit of darkness there, so I don't always, but I've been treating it quite well right now, so.
Now that you've done that, that's super, that's wonderful. Then the next big frame I come to is one's eyebrows, you know, like you've got amazing eyebrows. I used to have, mine have gone a little bit thinner as I've aged, but
No, you have great eyebrows.
I brush them up first with like a spoolie, and then I use the angle brush. Now, the thing about these brushes is you can use them
This
for
one?
Yes, the angle, the slanty one. Great.
Ah.
You can use that to do your brows. You can also use it to do your liner. So I pick, if you're a pencil user, fair enough, but I pick a little bit of product into the slanty brush.
Okay.
And mostly I concentrate on the outer edge. Flicky, light movements. Exactly. See, yours are nice and full in the centre. You probably need just a tiny bit, exactly, on the there.
Yeah, I have a scar here, which.
So know that, but you see, so you fill in.
Yeah.
I have a bit where it's a little bit thinner there, so I just kind of.
And on this side, it's just thinner.
Exactly, so that you flick it all in the direction that the hair is growing. It's nice and firm.
Yeah, it's nice, this brush.
It's nice and firm, but if you were going to do a liner with it, you can do it. It's soft enough to do that too.
And how do you clean these brushes?
I wash them the way I normally wash all my other brushes. With a little bit of, you know, I use a Beauty Blender liquid cleanser, or they have a solid foam one, or a little bit of washing up liquid diluted, a little bit of Johnson's baby shampoo, anything. You just wash it the same way. Be careful that you don't get too much water in the
inside.
Just wash, rinse, all aiming down, you know, wash. Then I just kind of dry it with a kitchen towel or the tissue or something, and then lay flat.
How often should you clean a brush like this?
Well, when I work on somebody professionally, after every use. For me, if I'm only using that, because I've obviously got a few of these brushes.
Yeah, of course.
I have one for a liner, one for the brow, so then maybe once a week.
Okay.
But if it gets cloggy or thingy, as quick as I can. Especially the ones, if I'm going to use that brush for doing concealer, anything that does concealer, things like that, I wash more often. Because you don't want dead skins going on there, grease going in there. You've cleaned your face all beautifully, and then I'm going to use a dirty brush to do
that. Yeah, of course. Would you recommend going darker or lighter for your brows, for instance? So my hair is brown. I mean, obviously I have highlights, but my hair is generally a very dark brown. But my eyebrows are, I think they're black. Yeah. So when you do the, like, should I used a brown in
the daytime or when there's natural light, I like, you know, just not to go darker, just match it to your normal color. And then at night, or if you're going to be wearing more makeup, so it's about the ambient light, you know, when the light changes, when it's more dramatic at night or it's a little bit more subdued and you're putting a bit more effort, you might do a little bit more, then I think you can strengthen your brow. So this thing, if people think of a brow just one way, like you wouldn't wear one sweater or one dress all
Interesting.
day, would you?
I know, but I never thought of it like that.
I think if you think of your makeup like that, it would be, you don't do the same thing every single day of your life. Things change, something.
But I do, because you know, it's really hard to learn how to use makeup properly.
No, but once you've got the basics all right, or you've just got the way of thinking to say, oh my God, just like you customize your skincare, where suddenly maybe you've been drinking a bit more, maybe you haven't been sleeping so much, maybe you haven't been as thorough with your cleansing. You need to put something in to give you like a boost. Same thing with makeup. If you do the same thing, you'll always look the same way and then you get stuck in a rut. Whereas if you're able to sometimes think, tonight, you know, we are going out to dinner, I'm going to strengthen those brows. So you can pick, it doesn't have to be a brow product, it could just be a matte little dark eyeshadow that's a little bit black, and like, if I show you, let me find my palette.
But I think it's really important.
see
Eyebrows really frame the face. So
They
I
are.
find that like people don't give it enough
I
love.
just did it very, very lightly, but now I'm really going to strengthen it up. So pretend.
And what do you think about like microblading and like the tattoos?
You know what? I know a lovely woman called Sue Mann, and I think Suman does a superb job. So it really depends on the practitioner. I don't say no to anything, whether you're going to have fillers or you're going to have this or you're going to have that. Go and have them done. Do your research. Go to the best person.
I agree. I couldn't agree
I
more.
wouldn't just go to anybody if I ever, like, look, there are, can you see how I've
Yeah. It's just...
and that's too harsh for me every day, but there are times when I want to kick in that and I want to, you know, I want that.
I don't think it looks harsh. It's very defining.
I've just flicked it in, but it's completely different to that one.
It is.
It's just to show people that you have an option. It's a bit of fun and it's a bit of versatility. Like you change, I wear these earrings every single day, but every so often you take that out, you want to put something on that's a plain blouse that gives it a kick. That's the only way to look at it, so that you're not obliged to do it every day. Then you're like, oh my God, it's eating into my time. Oh, I got it wrong. You know, just it's a tool. It's a handy tool, and practice while you've got the time now. You know, now is the time. We've got these few minutes and hours in our hands on a clean brush, just so you can manipulate it and see how you can tilt it this way, tilt it that way, with no product, then put a little bit of product and practice, and then you'll think, oh,
I think the practice is important.
it's the practice. That's the most important key. And then when we come out of lockdown, you'll be so well versed at doing it, it'll become easy.
Well, my daughter's 9, but my daughter loves makeup.
I love her.
And she was like, I had to take her away from these little bits because I was like, please don't use these. These are for mommy for right now. You can use them in a couple of days' time, but please don't mess them up before. But every morning before her school starts, she literally has like full face of makeup. And actually, I have to say, she almost looks better in some of the things that I do, even though she's only 9. Like, she put I had lipstick on. That's another thing. I'd love to be able to do bold lipstick because I love it on other people. But normally I wear either very neutral or non-noticeable. And she was putting on my lipstick. She's like, Mommy, you never wear this. And I put it on and I looked hideous. And she said, oh, because Mommy, we don't have the same skin color. It looks better on my skin color. And I was like, you're right.
Oh,
I can't argue with that.
Now, look, when I'm working, I don't have anything. If I'm going on a shoot, nothing. I just put my skincare, some protection, and I'm out that door because it's not about me. And when I do myself naturally, I usually have a whole selection of nudes and things. And now when we're on camera, and I've been saying it for all the Zoom and conference calling, it's important for people to have a tiny, because with the nude, we look washed out.
I look washed out.
You look washed out and dead. So I'm saying to everybody, at the moment, park your nudes, because you know it works. To the naked eye, it looks great. If you do a very big eye and you put a nudie lip, it looks amazing. Now we need a hint. So I'm doing a nude, but with a pop of colour.
I really like this color.
It's a whole range from Clinique, and they're great because they're nice, and they call them their nudes or something. I'm sorry, Clinique, if I'm getting it wrong, but they do a whole selection. So the best way is to just kind of look at the shade things, and I'm putting it straight on from the bullet.
I didn't bring any lipstick with me. Can I ask you, the problem is that I always find that, for instance, like nude colors, I always go for the more browny colors because I think they look better on me. And I guess you have to feel comfortable in whatever color you're using.
Totally.
But I never get out of my comfort zone. It's kind of like I once had somebody come and come and look in my closet and help me get rid of stuff. And she was like, why do you keep buying the same thing over? And I feel like I do the same thing with makeup. Like, this Tom Ford, I've actually probably been using for 25 years. I mean, like, it was Clinique before, you know, like it was Clinique before when he had his line, or was it with Estee Lauder? I don't remember. He had a range with them. I used to buy from them when he started his own range. I started buying from him, and I never changed. I mean, I've never gone anywhere else.
Has some amazing texture. So when lockdown is over, I would like to come, because you're so lucky. You've got such lovely full lips. So we could, you know, your nudes and your brownie beiges, you're sorted. So then I'd like to take you to the next level. And to be honest, the best way when you're first gauging something is by putting it on yourself.
I do that. I do it to buy. So I have tons of reds, for instance, but when I put them on, I feel like when I put them on at home, they almost look orangey, and I don't like orange tone on my skin. So I feel like it has to actually not be too blue a red. You know, there's different range, but just a true red, like just a true red.
A classic red, which has enough of a blue red and an orange red, so then that's it.
Cancels it.
That's what you need. And then maybe not too shiny, just a little bit. You could just smear it on and then just brush it off a few times to really feel comfortable.
How do you brush off lipstick?
I get a tissue.
Oh, okay. And you blot it.
Tissue has, when you pull the edge of it, it'll have 3 layers. I'm trying to, without my glasses. When you split it, see, look, I'm splitting it.
Yes.
It has 3 layers. There's 2 more layers there. So when you just take that and just literally. Move whatever red you see. Look, there's a little bit of a stain even on that. So if you keep doing that to your red until you're comfortable with it, and then try and go out and see.
And then the other thing that happens to me whenever I have colored lipstick is I think I eat it or something. It goes away in like 3 seconds. So I always feel like, you know, I don't know if I lick my lips a lot. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Or maybe I haven't set it. I mean, I don't know if I should be setting. I mean, how do you keep lipstick on, basically?
Do you put enough on there to...
Maybe not. But I generally do. Like, I mean, I feel like I go like...
You just kind of do it quickly. So I think you almost have to do it. It's like a deliberate... You know, you have to... That day... decide. You're obviously very disciplined. You do things thoroughly from beginning to end. So I think one day you've just got to say, today I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to do it. Do it at night, because I think it's easier, because there is that little bit of, you know, don't do it in the daytime. Do it at night. Do it when you're going out with friends you know, or with your husband, or whatever, like comfortable people as well. So nobody is going to look at you and go, oh my God.
What happened to you?
So, you know,
don't worry, my husband would say that before.
You do everything normally, and then you're going to sit there and not in a rush. You're going to take 5 or 10 minutes and say, I'm going to apply this red lipstick nicely. Then you can blot it off a few times and give yourself a minute or 2, because some people, you know, because the color and the heat in our natural lips alters by oxidization, the color, the shade. So maybe that's been happening to you too. So you need to look at it and think, okay, this hasn't changed now, I like it. Blot it, but make sure it's on uniformly. And
do you do here?
I kind of make my, you know, because so then when I use this.
And what is the name of this color? Someone asked for the name of your lipstick color right now.
This one, okay, it's a Clinique. It's called Embrace Me.
Nice name.
Embrace Me. And they have a whole selection. So I like that, because it's like my nude, but with a hint of...
Yeah, it's very pretty.
So that I don't look washed out and dead. And I just feel, use a brush or use your finger, if you're doing that red, to take it and...
So you do go here. That's the other thing.
I like to do it, because then I sort of pull faces. I go,
yeah, exactly.
Because you're going to talk. You can't be like a model. Yeah. It's just going to sit there like that. You know, you're going to move and talk and eat, drink and sip. So I do all those motions. Then you're going to say, you know what, Maryam, you look great. Just go out. And then
just do it.
It looks good. And you will have the confidence. And if you just pursue it and then think, what did I did it uniformly, why did it slide off? I think you're not putting it on
enough.
It's like an even coat, like when you paint the wall, it's got to be evenly coated, even if it's just a thin layer, but everywhere. Not so it doesn't just come off the middle and stay on the edges and then it looks like a monkey's bottom, you know, like it's all tight and horrible. Oh, I hate that. So then,
do you recommend when you do the red lip to have the eyes more nude and natural?
I think it's easier. Look, to be honest, if you've got the confidence, all on the eyes, everywhere. You know what? Some people, it all sounds wrong, but they carry it off. So there are things in life where having the confidence, you can carry things off. But to make life a bit easier for everyone else, if I do a strong eye, I'm a bit less on the lips. If I do that on my lips, I do. So
my mother can do like a strong eye and a strong lip, and it looks good on her. But she has a look to her, you know, like my hair is, I mean, this is my hair. You know, like I don't have like big poofy hair, and I'm not wearing.
Neither do I, and I'm actually losing my hair, so I'm starting a program.
Oh no!
So because I want to stop that look, I kind of look and I think, oh my god, I've got a Grand Canyon going on there.
No, you don't. Oh my god, mine. Look at mine. Mine is like and especially with the. Oh my god, don't even go there. You don't.
They're worried about. So I just think, make sure you do the technique and then speak to yourself like you would and say, that looks good. And if there's something wrong, then that's the only time you take it off. Okay. But I think if you do the procedure, it's evenly done, it's the right sort of shade, and then go out and try and enjoy yourself and pare everything else down. Brows are nice, bit of mascara, very nice skin, off you go.
So you were talking about the Zoom face. So what I do on Zoom right now is I didn't put any eye makeup on, but I generally do eye makeup, and I've never done it into a phone before, so I'm going to try. I'm going to try.
It's hard, isn't it? Because I've got
what do you use on your eyes?
Huh?
What do you use on your eyes?
So for me, like before we started, all I did was a hint on my eyebrows, and I curled my lashes, and I do
curling lashes is the best. New thing I never did before.
Love that. And then the only thing I did, because I see that you're always so groomed, I took a very thin, it's a gel pencil from Hourglass. It's very, very thin, and I literally just lifted up and I tight lined.
Oh, you go inside. So I don't know how bad this is, but this is all I do. I literally go inside of my eye and
out.
I do this. Oh my gosh, it looks super dark right now. But I do that, and I do a little, again, I'm not used to doing this like on a phone.
Yes, on the phone. You do it a bit more refined when nobody looks great. So you see, you're doing exactly what I've done, but I've got such small eyes. I have.
You have huge eyes.
And you have bigger eyes. So by doing that, it gave you a little bit of presence. And then
sometimes I take a brush. And just what I would use, I'm going to use this, even though I already used it, because it's my eyebrow and my pencils are sometimes the same. I sometimes use like that kind of brush, the harder one, just to make it like go. And that's sort of my Zoom call.
Put your eye out. It's genius. It's wonderful.
So and I feel like I'm naked on this side. Well, I am naked. I have nothing on. But even for me, I don't wear that much makeup. I feel like if I don't have something around my eyes, I feel like, oh my God.
No, you feel not finished.
Yes, so I do.
Very, very, very good to do that. And what most people do is they don't actually look at the shape of their eyes. Like I'm trying to answer Jasmine there. She said, how do you make your eyes with makeup? The most important thing is not to put too dark a colour, but you need something close to the eye and more outer on the edge there. A bit like what Maryam has done. She's just lined the top of it and a little bit underneath and just winged it out.
So what I love is I love these Charlotte Tilbury, like, I don't know what they are actually. They're eye pencils, but I don't know if they're soft. And so I like them. This is a purple color. So it's like, it's not quite as dramatic as like the black or a dark brown, but I mix them up a little bit, and sometimes I go over them. But I sometimes, like, if you put it just inside of your eye, it actually makes your eye look smaller. And I love how some people, when they like give it a little lift, like I feel like that, you see, like that side I put a little bit of a wing on, and it almost looks better than this side.
That's nice.
But I love these pencils because it's the only time I've ever bought anything online, like really makeup wise, because because they're soft. So what I don't like is, I love the idea of going on the inside, but sometimes those hard pencils, I have very sensitive eyes, they make me feel really sensitive when I put them on. So
and it's not going, and then you're going to get ready, and then it's going to shrink them a bit. Like, I have small eyes, but I think it's because from the 70s, that's what I wore, a bright green liner, bright purple in the eye, and I had dark eyes, and it kind of popped. Like, I would have probably put a little bit of this blue on my eye if I was on holiday. I don't probably do them in here, but I put a nice pop there, and just make sure the rest is clean. And it does work, but I love what you've done to yourself. And I think that's the other thing, is everyone has an idea of what works for them. And the way you learn that is by experimenting, trying it, and then think, do you know what? Yes, I should do it. Yes, that's the trend, but it doesn't look the best.
Okay. So you said you wore blue eyeshadow and like makeup and stuff. So I always feel that if I put that on, I almost look ridiculous. Is it just because I'm not used to it, or I'm not applying it well?
It's probably a mixture of both. Is that you're not used to it, and you probably have, because you're not used to it and you're not comfortable, you've just done it haphazardly, you've just done it quickly. If you actually sat down, I'd love to do that one day in the future when we are together.
Yes, I'd love that.
I'd love to do your red lip, I'd love to do your a different coloured eye, or put it in and say, but honestly, to take it on to say, no, I don't like that, Ruby, and you couldn't say that, but let's do it on you properly and show you that it really is the most unflattering on you, or is it just because it is
not used to it?
You're just not used to it.
Someone asked me, yes, this color is Chameleon from Charlotte Tilbury. So it actually says it's for green eyes, but I really like it, and every time I use it, people always ask me about it. So it's the one that I use the most. But I use all of them, like in that sense. I don't think she has like the light blues. I do have some of the darker blues, but
you know, like, look at that. You've found a product and you've got a wardrobe in it. We've tried all these. So
yeah, I do.
You could do that with your eyeshadows too. I bet.
I actually have a lot of eyeshadow. I just don't feel that I have deep set eyes, and so again, it's a very bright day, and I'm sitting underneath a light, skylight. But the problem is that I find, I was going to ask you also earlier about what you do with cover-up, because I find that sometimes I don't use cover-up so much on my face, but I do use it on my upper eyelids, because especially now I get, today it's not so bad, I guess, but I get a lot of hay fever, and it can give you dark circles around your eyes when you have hay fever.
That's probably what I'm doing on my eye there. It just means it darkens slightly.
Brightens it slightly.
And what you need is something not so heavy, but you do need to, it's more of a, not really a concealer, it's a corrector. So you love your Charlotte Tilbury brand, they do something called Vanish, which in a light, medium, dark, and you can literally pat that on. Someone like Trish McAvoy has something very light, or even the...
it has to be light, because if you put anything heavy on your eyes, guys, and you don't give yourself eye cream beforehand, you can look like really dry and cakey, and it almost makes things look worse. So that's where the skincare is really important.
This is where, like, the original Yves Saint Laurent Touche Eclair, that kind of texture, very, very light. Like I said, the Charlotte Tilbury one, like the one from, there's something called, oh my God, I think Becca has it. Becca, I'm trying to think of all these light things that is almost like a primer for the eye, so that it slides and it's not too heavy. Or even you need to be light-handed when you apply it as well. So the product is light-handed.
Yes, this is true.
You have to be light-handed how you apply it. too.
And see, that's what I feel. I think sometimes it's too heavy. I feel like you need something really for the eye, because if you try to do that and you put something else on top and you have a little bit, you know, I'm in my mid 40s, so you know I do have a little bit of extra skin that, you know, if I lift my brows, it goes away. But if you have too much caked on, then like it just doesn't look.
It exacerbates it. It draws attention.
It draws attention to the bad bits, not the nice bits.
True. So there are products out there, but very, very light-handedly you do that, because it makes that, I don't know, it just brightens the area. So you need to sort of look dispassionately and know yourself. I love the fact that you know, oh, this is what happens when I have allergy. This happens in the light. So look at yourself.
Pay attention. Pay attention.
Pay attention to yourself, because it's like going to the doctor. You've got the appointment with the GP. You just go there and you sit down and you go, right, go on then, guess what's wrong with me?
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
I'm not a psychic. The more info you give me, the better.
And what do you like for mascara? I was just gifted this Iconic one, and I'd never used any of their products before.
Which
but
is
I
that?
actually really...
Hourglass? Is that the Hourglass one?
No, this one's Iconic. It's called Triple Threat Black Mascara.
Okay, Iconic one, okay.
I've never tried Iconic before, but...
You got lashes, which looks like...
No, I don't, actually, but this mascara really gives me great lashes. And I'm not even, like, I've never really thought... I kind of was the ethos, like, kind of all mascaras are created equal.
Well,
but look, you can see a difference. I mean, I just did, like, how many strokes, and you can see a big difference.
So, for me, I have... Again, I think mascaras, because of the way your lashes are, I have in my kit lots of different ones, from waterproof to something to curl, something to bend, something to do this. But me personally, I love the Benefit Big Bad Girl Bang, because it seems to suit my lashes.
So what's the difference between the different brushes? So, like, I don't know if you can see this one.
I can see.
But, like, you know how some are fat and some are thin? Like, what does that mean?
I like them too fat on me, because of my age now, I'm 58, Maryam, and I need that magnifying mirror, because I used to tell off my mum, God rest her soul, when she used to have it and she'd have a splodge there, and I didn't realise that as you do get older, you need to see, because she'd just do it and she didn't notice she'd actually smeared the skin above the eye.
Oh no, oh yeah.
And now I do it, so I have to really be careful with my magnifying mirror and do it. So I like a brush that's not too big and round, because it goes all over the place. I like that Big Bad Girl Bang from Benefit, and I like another one from Clinique. It's called Lash Power, and it's a smaller brush, so I can control it, and it's also tubular formula, where I can just wash it off with warm water.
I think that's always the nicest. I mean, I know it's not great if you're going swimming or something like that, but I almost find the ones that are waterproof a little bit, I don't want to say too aggressive, but like you never really know when it's off, and you really have to make an effort to try and take it off. And I always think that if you're manipulating your eyes, even if you like put the, you know, eye makeup remover, it's a little bit too aggressive for the skin around the eye.
So I like to say use a proper eye makeup remover for that, so that, you know, one of those bi-face ones.
Yes.
To cotton wool, and I literally hold it on there. Because sometimes I do have to use waterproof mascara if I snorkel a lot and I dive when I'm on holiday, so not that I wear makeup when I'm going under the sea like that, but if I'm doing a beauty and it's humid and it's that, so I need a bit of waterproof mascara, but I remove it for the model, and they go, what are you doing? And I said, look, you're
better if you do it.
You're aggressing this very delicate eye, put it and hold it there for a minimum of 30 seconds and let the product break down this.
30 seconds is a long time, guys. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're actually sitting there with something on your eyes, it is.
By 15 seconds, you're getting irritated, you're getting bored, so it's fine. At least you've held it for a good few seconds and not scrubbing and dubbing that area. Then you can wipe off, and it'll be fine. So everyone, again, I always buy the latest new mascara, whatever. I try it because I need it in my kit, and then I need it for what's personally for me. I like those two. And then I waterproof when you need it.
Someone asked about a blush for Zoom calls. My favorite blush is NARS. It's called Orgasm. I like that one. mine literally, my daughter just broke mine. So
every baby, and I love that. I love that because it's very subdued and it gives you a light bit of color. Now, that is one of my big things for the Zoom, where I think again it's like that sort of nudie beigey nude lips that looks great to the naked eye. On camera or in these kind of calls that we're doing, you look washed out again. So I would almost put a tiny bit more than you normally would, even if you look at yourself and think, oh my God, I've got too much on Zoom. Or
yes, it won't be. Look, I mean, I don't have anything on, but I will put more on.
So I've got now my Charlotte Tilbury, and it's the it's the Pillow Talk, but the Intense. So I've actually used it around and just a bit more.
Can I see your brush? What kind of brush you're using?
This one is an Eco Tool. So I use it for my Bobbi Brown cream blush as well, or I've just used a whisk of it on here. So I kind of smile.
Yeah, very pretty.
And I put a little bit more on than needed so that it has some presence, because on camera it looks better. You don't look so washed out.
No, you look great. I definitely, I need to, well, as I said, mine, she dropped it yesterday, my daughter, so it's in trouble.
The NARS is superb, but it's a good neutral one. You need a tiny bit.
But I think I have this Charlotte Tilbury one too. Like I said, like once I got her eye things that worked, I bought a lot of other stuff too. I wanted to ask you what your 3 favorite products are.
For me or for my kids? So for me, it would always be some sort of mascara, because you never look alive and finished without it. A sort of a lip balmy product, something that it can have a hint of colour or not, but I need the comfort there because I talk a lot and my mouth does get a bit dry, and I like the feel of that. And I would say a concealer, because I can make it look like an eyeshadow, just thinning it so that it takes away those shadows or give me a bit of depth. I can do the dark shadows, I can do my little bit of marks. A clean spoolie brush, just even if I don't do my brows, I can
just to groom them.
So those 3 things: mascara, tiny bit on my lips, and tiny bit of a concealer that's strategically placed.
And what's your favorite foundation for dewy skin?
Oh my God, there are so many out there. I would say prep your skin beforehand so that it's not super matte, and then you'll get that dewy effect.
I have to say, guys, the Tint and Protect will give you a dewy effect too. But for coverage, I tell people in my office, for the ones that have a little bit of rosacea or they have acne and they want a little stronger coverage, what I say is to use a tiny bit of Vichy. It's Dermablend. It comes in a lot of different colors. And you can get it at any pharmacy, basically.
Pharmacy, Boots, Superdrug, wherever. It's very
Amazon.
Yes.
And I think that's a really nice one. It's not so dewy, but you can mix it with a little bit of your moisturizer to give it a little bit more dewiness to it. And I think that's a really nice one to use. And it's also not bad for your skin. So, I think sometimes when people want coverage, they're trying to cover something up. And sometimes you're kind of going through a vicious cycle. But this is something that is made for problematic skin or an issue at hand, so it's not going to exacerbate your condition. So
exactly, it's good for sensitive skin or thing, but that's where, and if you haven't got rosacea but you want to just cover those, that's where strategically your concealer can come
works really well.
It could be one layer and another layer just where you need it.
Well, what's your favorite product that you've come out with? What of your line? What is your favorite?
Am I going to add to this? I'm looking forward to adding to this. So you'll have to watch this space, and maybe we can do this again in the future.
I would love.
Never going to be a huge, big range like I did with Ruby and Millie years ago, because I just feel now we have so much out there. There's so many great products and so many great brands out there. And luckily, not bragging, but I have done it. You know, I don't want to go back there, and I'm a lot older. My daughter's got married. She might have a child. I want to be a grandma the way my mum was supportive to me. And I just know that whatever I do, it'll be similar in vein to what we've already got out. It'll be edited. It'll be functional. It will look good.
I love that.
And you can use it as well as all these other products that are there from all my peers and colleagues out there. It's never like, just use Ruby Hammer and nothing else on the planet. It doesn't work.